Good day, class. Last time we talked about types of biomes. We talked about what is a biosphere, what is biome, and also ecosystems. So we just want to quickly understand and relate together that it is always possible that in an exam you'll be given questions such as this, where you are supposed to understand a given biome, where is it located, its description, the climate, soil type that is found there, as well as the vegetation, which sometimes again it can be also contextualized that you can need to derive or to draw an explanation to a tourist who wants to visit a certain place, a certain biome. So it is in the interest of a learner to know that these factors that are given here, we are basically analyzing them and summarizing them in a very straightforward way. So we look at each biome and then we analyze it against the various criteria that are given here on top. We are saying we have got criteria one, which is the location, two, description, three, the climate, four, the soil types that are there, and then eventually the vegetation. So what we need to look at, let's just quickly look at it. Grasslands. Where is grassland located? Identify the location of grasslands. So here we need to understand that we can talk about the location of grasslands. It can be found in it can be found in central plateaus in, let's say, central plateaus in South in Free State, central plateau in what, in Free State, central plateau in FS, in Free State province. In Free State province, we can find grasslands in central plateaus there. We can also find it in high-veld parts of Mpumalanga. We can also find it in what? In Mpumalanga. It can also be found in Mpumalanga. Mpumalanga, high-veld. We can also find it in Mpumalanga Highveld. The Central Plateau can be found in Mpumalanga Highveld. And then in terms of the climate of grasslands, we need to understand that it has got hot, wet summers and cold, dry winters. We have got hot, we can say hot, wet summers are found in grasslands, hot, wet summers, and then we can also have what we call cold, dry winters. We also have cold, dry winters that are also found in these places. Cold, dry winters are also there. And then in terms of the soils, what types of soils do we have? We have got deep fertile soils. We have got deep fertile soils in what? In grasslands. Deep fertile soils. However, you need to understand that the deep fertile soils that we find here, they are mostly, they are actually, these can be leached soils. We need to understand that they are leached. Leakage as to say that the nutrition or the fertility has been washed off by groundwater or by water infiltration. So we have got deep fertile soils that we find there in terms of the grasslands. However, we need also to look, or more so, we need to look at what at vegetation. What type of vegetation do we find here? We have got mainly grass. We have got grasses mainly. We have got grasses. We have got grasses and also few trees. We also have few trees that can be found in grasslands, and also we can talk about wildflowers that can also be found there. Wildflowers can also be found in grasslands. So in terms of the description of these areas or of these biomes, you can see that the grasslands, it is found in Central Free State. We also find it in, we also have it in Mpumalanga High Veld, in terms of the, which consists of mainly grasses, and then it is having hot, wet summers, as well as cold, dry winters. In soils, we have got deep fertile soils that are mostly leached because of, they have got less fertility, and then vegetation, it is mostly grasses, few trees, and wildflowers are found there. In terms of the forest, number two, so I can just say this is A, or let me just say A, and then B, the forest, it is found in terms of the location. Where is it found? It is found along eastern and southern coastal areas, e.g. KZN coast. We are saying it is found along eastern, it is found along eastern and southern coastal, eastern uh, and southern uh, coastal areas, southern coastal areas. That is where we find forests, and then mostly where in which places exactly we can talk about KZN. It is also, we can also just say it is found in KZN there, and then what about the description in terms of its description? It has got dense trees that we have got dense trees there. We have uh dense trees are found there. We have got dense trees. Dense trees are found in the forest, which normally form canopy, and then little light leaches. We are saying we also have little light reaches the floor because there is a canopy that is formed there. Uh, there is little light that reaches the floor, that reaches the ground. Little light reaches the ground in terms of the forest there. Little light reaches the ground, because there are dense trees there that normally form a canopy. Canopy, dense trees are found there. Canopy, dense trees are found in terms of the description of the forest in KZN. And then in terms of the climate, we have got high rainfall all year round. We have got high rainfall. That is why we talk about also the KZN being vulnerable to to floods. High rainfall. We have got high rainfall all year round. We have got high rainfall all year round. And then we also want to understand that this actually is actually accompanied with mild temperatures. Mild temperatures. We can also talk about mild temperatures that are there when it comes to the forest there. And then soils. What is it about the soils of the forest? The soils is fertile, well drained, rich. We have got fertile, well drained. They are fertile, well drained soils, rich in humus, rich in rich in humus. So what we need to understand is that the forest, in terms of the forest, this is how it is described in terms of the climate, soils, and vegetation. So these biomes, you need to know them again. You need to be able to understand to say high rainfalls and also fertile soils that are there results in very dense canopy vegetations that also covers and umbrellas the ground. That little light reaches the ground, there is always moisture, or they are always moisty because of the dense forest that also covers the ground there. So vegetation is actually forming canopy there. We have got ferns and mosses grow in the shades, which are also uh, trying to climb on them. Let's look in the fynbos. The fynbos, uh, the fynbos, we are saying, don't forget that here its location. We also have a description. We have description. We have got climate. We have got climate. We have the soils. And then obviously, lastly is the vegetation. Lastly is what is the vegetation that we have there. So these are the columns that that we are working with. So the fynbos, it is found in Western Cape, also coastal mountains and valleys. It is found in Western Cape. Location is found in Western Cape. We can find it also in coastal mountains, coastal mountains, coastal mountains. We can also talk about this can also be found where we can also and also we can also find it in what, in valleys. That is where we find the fynbos. That is where we find the what, the fynbos. And then description, it is shrubs with high plant diversity. We have got the shrubland. We have got the shrub. We are saying we have got the shrubland with high plant diversity. High plant with high plant diversity as the description of this one. It is a shrubland with high plant diversity. So in terms of the plant diversity, what types of plants do we find there? We have got something, we have got the ericas and also the proteas are types of plants that we find there. Climate, it is actually what is given in terms of the climate there: wet, cold winters, hot, dry, and long summers, 200 to 1,000 millimeters winter rainfall, which is also given in on terms of the description here. And then the soils, the nutrient, it is actually poor scent acidic soils. We have got poor nutrients. We actually have scent acidic acidic soils are found in the scent. Acidic soils are found in there. And then vegetation, we talk about the fine-leaved shrubs. We have got fine leafed shrubs that are found in terms of this fine-leafed shrubs are found in terms of the fynbos. And then what we need to understand again is that uh, I said that we have got, especially we can talk about the reeds. I gave an example of the proteas. We also have examples such as the proteas. We also have the examples such as the ericas as good examples of type of vegetation that is found in terms of this what you call the fynbos. Let's talk about the savanna. Savanna, we said again, it can be found in Mpumalanga and Limpopo provinces, coastal belt of KZN to Eastern Cape. That's where we can find it. Uh, and then let's look into the description of savanna. It is actually grassland with scattered trees. We have got grasslands, grassland. Uh, we have got grasslands with scattered trees. With the scattered grassland with scattered trees is what we have in savanna climate. Savanna climate, we have got hot, wet summers. It has got hot, wet summers. Hot, wet summers are the weather conditions or the climate, sorry, that we have there. Hot, wet summers, dry winters. Dry winters are also found there. We can talk about 500 to 1,000 millimeters of rainfall. 500 to 1,000 millimeters of rainfall. And then soils, what we have in terms of the soils, we just basically have general sand soils, not very fertile. Generally, we have got sand soils, not uh, not very fertile. We don't have, it's basically sand soils that are not very fertile or that are not fertile in terms of that. And then vegetation, we have got mostly grasses and baobab trees. Savanna, it is known of savanna biome. Savanna biome is actually known of grasses. We have got grasses there. It is known of grasses. We also have baobab trees. We also have the baobab trees. We also have the marula. Marula trees are also mostly found in these places or in these regions. So we have got something. We have got vegetation. We have got trees that are like that. And then let's look into the Nama Karoo. The Namakaro, what is happening with the Namakaro? In the Namakaro, it is actually uh, the Namakaro. When we look in location, where is Namakaro? It is found in Central Plateau, especially the Northern Cape and the Free State interior. Uh, Central Plateau, it is found normally in Central Plateau, Central Plateau, We can talk about the Central Plateau, e.g. the Northern Cape and Free State. Northern Cape and Free State. Free State interior or inside. Free State interior. We have also the Central Plateau, Northern Cape and Free State, where we find the Namakaru, and then it is actually a semi-desert with low shrubs and grasses. It is a semi-desert. Semi-desert, it's a semi-desert, it's a semi-desert with low shrubs and grasses. Low shrubs we're saying a semi-desert with low shrubs and grasses, with low shrubs and grasses there. It is a semi-desert with low shrubs and grasses. And then in terms of climate, the Namakaru, guys, we need to understand that it has got hot summers. It has got hot summers. It has got hot summers, cold winters. It has got cold winters. In rainfall, we have got less than 500 millimeters. Rainfall less than 500 millimeters. And then in terms of soils, it is soils is rich in nutrients. And then in terms of vegetation, the vegetation again, the Namakaru means the soils, sorry. We are saying the vegetation, we have got dwarf shrubs and grasses. We have got dwarf shrubs and the grasses that are found there. Which we can also say we have got mostly succulents. Succulents are mostly found there. Succulents are what you call vegetation. Lastly, we have got the thicket. The thicket is the last one. So the thicket, it is found in Eastern Cape, KZN Valley. We can find it in Eastern Cape. We have it in Eastern Cape. We also have it in KZN Valley. KZN Valley. And then in terms of the description, we have got dense, of course, penetrable vegetation. We have got dense, penetrable, dense penetrable vegetation is found there, which we can talk about small trees and shrubs. Small trees and shrubs are also found there. How about in terms of the climate? It is a semi-arid climate. It is a semi-arid. It has got a semi-arid climate to sub-humid summers. Semi-arid, sub-humid. We have got also sub-humid summers there that are found there. Sub-humid and hot summers. Sub-humid and hot summers, which we also find there. In terms of what else? We also have mild winters. And then soils, they are shallow rocky. They are shallow rock soils. We have we have got shallow rocky soils. We have shallow rocky soils that are found there. And then what happens is often fertile in valleys. It is often fertile in valleys. So this is basically how the biome that we are to discuss, or that we need to know, that's how they look like. So in regard to this, it is possible for us to find these questions in the exam where you are given and you are expected to understand or to explain as the way that we did right here, that you'll be given these and then you are supposed to know the climatic conditions, you are supposed to know the vegetation, and also account on how the soils and other biotic and abiotic factors are affecting these biomes. So now, what we need to understand is that these are the this is basic information which we need to understand within the context of South Africa. Where do we find such a kind of biomes in South African uh, landscape? We have got those savannas in Mpumalanga, Limpopo province, KZN and Eastern Cape, which have got grasslands with scattered trees. In terms of the climate, we have got hot winter summers and then rainfall of 500 to 1000 milliliters of rainfall. Basically, this what we are saying as a learner doing life science grade 10, it is quite important that we know these biomes and we are able to understand and give every detail that might be asked in regard to each one of them. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you again for connecting to Metric Hub. Let's do it together. I told you that until we are done with our metric and even post-metric, we can still go. Join and share to others. Let's subscribe, like, and also keep our notification button on until we are done. Thank you very much, and keep looking forward for the upcoming videos as we conclude the semester, the year, as we conclude uh, the term. This is it. And thank you very much once again.